And the inconsequential, non-deathy deaths continue. Osgood is back. I am getting too old for shapeshifter stories. Well, I'm getting too old for heavy-footed allegories ripped from today's headlines. Would you go away and let me do the review? Could I at least do the spoiler bit? Okay. Spoilers. There will be spoilers. And go. Yes, please. Okay, going. Bye now. The Zygon Invasion, Episode 7, Series 9, written by Peter Harness, who gave us Kill the Moon. Ah, that probably explains it. And directed by Daniel Nethheim, an accomplished director doing his first Doctor Who episode. He's also done 4 episodes of K9. Okay, before I get to the I really didn't like this episode parts, a few words of praise. I do like the way Stephen Moffat continually mines the show's past, tidies up loose ends. Or from another point of view, I do like the way Moffat projects his story arcs far into the future. Moffat's Doctor Who is a well-stocked armory overflowing with Chekhov's guns just waiting to go off in Act 2, in Act 3, Act 7, Act 36. Example, at the end of the last series, we saw fan favorite Osgood disintegrated by the evil Missy. She's gone. Now, most of us had completely lost sight of the fact that the year before that, in the 50th anniversary special, Moffat very conveniently prepared a spare Osgood and stashed her away for the future. How did he manage that? Well, The Day of the Doctor featured a subplot about a species called the Zygons. They originated in a 1975 story with the 4th Doctor. Zygons are shapeshifters. They can mimic human form, and one of them conveniently took Osgood's form. Ingrid Oliver returns as the cosplaying fan. I also like Moffat's willingness to take chances and completely change the tone and feel of the show. Invasion of the Zygons drops the low comedy and zany whimsy that we saw in some of the previous episodes. Instead, we have a gritty episode tense with jeopardy. All of our characters and the fate of the planet are at risk. I also like Moffat's willingness to let the show comment on real issues in contemporary politics. That's rare. We haven't seen that in a while, not on this series, but it's something sci-fi does really well. This script has clear parallels in both contemporary Britain and the United States. Terrorism, immigration, national identity, assimilation, interventionism. Something here for UKIP, something for Corbyn, something for Trump, something for Bernie. And don't think it's an accident that some of the episode is set in New Mexico, and some in a fictitious Middle Eastern country called Turkmenistan. Just in case you missed the parallels, we're going to rub your nose in it. Do you get it now? Do you get it? Get it? I like that the Doctor wasn't playing Dr. Idiot. He's in charge. There's no nonsense about him. I like that we saw the contrast between the Doctor's reluctance to use force and Unit's eagerness to do so. All that's to the good. I like that they gave Jenna Coleman a chance to play dark as Clara's Zygon doppelganger, Bonnie. I like that they teased us with something called the Osgood box. Anybody have any guesses about what's in it? All this is to the good, but what didn't sit with me is that it was so heavy-handed and obvious and cloddish in drawing its parallels. Papa, don't preach. Also, TV budgets fatally undermined the premise that this was a global threat, even a national one. 20 million Zygons resettled, mainly in Britain, but also throughout the world? Nothing I saw depicted or even hinted at that sense of scale. The idea that there was a radical militant faction within the Zygons who caused the truce to break down was told, not shown. The show gave us very little sense of the internal Zygon politics and dissension. The tense standoff, where a soldier is ordered to kill a woman who may or may not be his mother, was so contrived. Todd Kramer as the soldier and Karen Mann as the mum played it very well, but why are there only 2 options, kill her or follow her into the church? Why is that a binary choice? Surely there are non-lethal options for dealing with a possible threat. The Doctor, releasing Osgood by means of the sonic sunglasses, was clumsily staged. You could barely see them come out. And sunglasses are just a poor substitute for the sonic screwdriver. Still, no consultation with other leaders, world leaders. If this were really a global or national threat, it's ludicrous to think the Doctor, the head of unit, and Clara Oswald are authorized to take it on without any participation, any consultation with civil authorities. And why does a guy with a TARDIS travel by airplane? Oh, I know, so they could fire a missile at it and give us a cliffhanger. But here's the big problem. Here's where the premise just fails completely. Zygons have the power to assimilate perfectly, totally, imperceptibly. They blend and disappear into society. They don't dress differently. They don't have a different language. They don't even have accents. They don't have a different skin color, different religion, different music, different food, different schools, different customs. None of the differences that seem threatening to majority cultures are visible. Until, of course, that moment when they drop their human disguises and they do the Zygon full Monty. It's easy to imagine that this episode came from a simple pitch. Dissident Zygons as ISIS, and we'll throw in a couple of scenes in New Mexico for the U.S. market. Zygons as undocumented Mexicans. If I can reach deep into my vocabulary of critical analysis, ugh. Pre-show publicity hinted at a radical breakthrough for the show. I call it more a radical breakdown. Until next time, I'm Mickeleh. DVD extras. I'll talk about your comments in a separate video I'll put up later in the week. I want to get this one up really quickly. But let's say something about Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, one of the locations in the show. The quiz and stunt show, Truth or Consequences, is even older than Mickeleh by 3 years. Started on radio in 1940. Ralph Edwards was the host. And in 1950, he announced that the show would travel to and broadcast from the first town in the United States to name itself after the show. A bath spa in New Mexico called Hot Springs sprang into action. They call themselves Truth or Consequences. Although the locals usually call it TRC, Ralph Edwards visited them every year on the anniversary of the name change for the next 50 years. Edwards died 10 years ago at age 92. Here, as usual, some other people's reviews of this episode, and here, my reviews of previous episodes of Doctor Who. But wait, there's more. For Mickeleh fans who don't like Doctor Who, some videos that have nothing to do with the Time Lord, and this treat. Ralph Edwards not only originated Truth or Consequences, but another show called This Is Your Life, where he would surprise people and reunite them with loved ones from their past. Well, this is not This Is Your Life. This is Your Story, a sketch by Sid Caesar, one of my favorite sketches of all time. Take a look at it and give my regards to Uncle Goopy. Bye now.